Welcome to It's Upgrade Season, the only place to get raw and unfiltered advice on how to get your shit together 1 week at a time. I'm your host, Alexandria, and join me every Monday for The Upgrade and every Friday for The Wind Down, where I'm going to be answering your dilemmas. Small shifts, huge upgrades. Let's fucking do this. Hello and welcome back to It's Upgrade Season, or shall I call it downgrade season? Oh my God, guys, I can't do this. Give me 1 second. This is gross, but I'm going to do this. Oh my God, that is so much better. That was me removing my Invisalign. I have got Invisalign back for the second time. I've had braces before that, so I guess this is my third time round with the teeth. And I've had it for approximately 0.3 seconds, and I'm so annoyed by it already. This is where I went wrong the first time. I didn't wear it enough. I fell out of practice with it, and then I lost all the trays on an airplane somewhere, and Invisalign never happened. So I am going again, and I have promised myself I'll be dedicated to it. But I swear I can't talk properly. Like, girls, let me know. Does this change? Like, do you learn how to talk again with an Invisalign in? Because I feel like even with these little things on my teeth, I'm like lisping a little bit. It's really not ideal. It's less ideal when you're trying to record a podcast. So I'm going to take them out. We're going to do it without the podcast. Don't tell my dentist. All is well. As I said, welcome back to It's Upgrade Season, or this week, shall we call it Downgrade Season? Because I am not in the studio. Let's talk about that. I have been loving recording in the studio in Austin, but right now we are in the middle of a house build and slash house move slash I'm going to get into all of that. And it just felt like the easiest thing to do right now was to sit on my couch in my office. Yes, I'm a projector. I have a couch in my office and just jam out to you guys. And I brought my fucking diary with me. Like I literally, it's going to be my Dear Diary episode. I did actually look through this earlier and was like, should I actually just read some of my like really going there entries? I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's see how we feel later on the podcast. But I just want to start out by saying thank you so much for all your reviews. Like, you guys, they mean the world to me, but only do they mean the world to me. They make such a difference when it comes to getting this podcast out far and wide. So if you haven't already, go drop us a review, send a friend this episode that you think would love it. I do have to laugh though, because I went on the reviews, and this was actually pretty early on, which made it even more lols. And we'd got a couple of 1-star reviews, guys. But not only did we have 1-star reviews, they hadn't actually left a review, which I think is really fucking chicken. Like, if you are going to leave me 1 star, at least tell me why so I can roast myself on this podcast. Like, come on, like, let's have some fun with it. Seriously, please don't leave me nasty reviews. If you hate me, just don't listen. But I did have to laugh because I was like, wow, some sad person somewhere like really dislikes me for some reason and has given me 1 star. Because like I really feel for something to be 1 star, it has to be like terrible. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't like, even if you don't like this podcast, I can't believe it's that terrible it's a 1 star. And if it's that terrible that it's a 1 star, surely you'd feel that angry, you'd like lay into me with a bit of a review, you know? But no, apparently not. Apparently just some ghosting 1-star reviews. So if you are going to leave me a 1-star review, please tell me why. I would love to bring it up on the podcast. The way that I'm going to regret saying that, you guys. I actually talk about that on the podcast coming out next week with Sarah. Oh my God, Sarah is so magic. And we actually went through some of her worst comments on her posts on Instagram. She has been accused of being a satanic cult leader. She has been accused of being a witch, like burn the witches kind of comments. This shit is wild. You guys are gonna love this episode though, because Sarah is incredible. But bringing it back to the reviews on a really, really serious note, like I want to make this so incredible for you. So please also drop me a message and let me know what you're enjoying and what you want to hear more of. I've already had a request for like a section in these wind downs, which is like things that I've been buying and things that I'm into. So let me know if you want that. I'm going to try it out this week, see how it goes. But yeah, let me know. Do you like the solos? Do you like the interviews? Like, tell me what you want from this podcast, and I will try my hardest to deliver. Um, okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about today is I am fucking busy, you guys. Like, seriously fucking busy. And I just want to reclaim that for a moment. I feel like there is so much shame these days around being busy, and I have felt that shame recently. I have questioned myself, like, am I doing life? Am I doing business wrong? I've been thinking, like, am I not in my feminine enough? Like, have I got the balance wrong? Like, so many of these questions have been going round and round in my head. And I have come to a conclusion that we get to reclaim busyness. And I think the way that we get to reclaim busyness is previously busyness was like this badge of honor. And I'm not saying busyness is a badge of honor. I think we've evolved from there. We've grown from burnout. We've learned from burnout, babes. But what I do think we get to honor is that in a busy season of your life, you are going to be busy. Okay. So what's going on recently? Well, I had family over for 3 weeks. During that 3 weeks, we closed on our house. That house that we closed on, we're doing renovations in and trying to move. And we're building another house in Tulum. And we're managing another renovation project in Austin. Plus, I'm doing the podcast. I'm planning for a trip back to the UK next week. There is just a lot going on right now, and that is okay. I am not going to feel ashamed of being busy right now because I actually think busy periods in your life are normal and they are natural, particularly when you want to live a big life. I want to live a big life. I want to do big things. And guess what? Sometimes that just means I am going to be busy as fuck. It also, I think, is like a recalibration period. I feel like that's what's going on right now. I'm in a huge upgrade season in my own life. We're upgrading our home. It's actually our own house rather than a rental because we've been renting for like 4 years since we left London. So we're in our own house. The house is just spectacular. Like, I'm so grateful that we get to move into this house. It's got these massive big windows, and we've got to pick so many of the elements of the design that are just really truly us in a way that I've not had before. Um, I do have to laugh about this actually. So previously the flat that we lived in London, it was our flat, but like we did not really have the cash to deck it out. So it was like a pure IKEA jobby. And don't get me wrong, I still have IKEA stuff now. Fucking love IKEA. Kudos to IKEA. Also, is there a more fun day out than IKEA and meatballs? No. Um, but like none of it was like how we actually wanted it to be. It was just like what we could do at the time. And then we've been in like Airbnbs and rentals since then. And it's so funny. I would literally go around the Airbnbs and I would find all the offensive things and I would like gather them and then hide them in a cupboard. So if you're like living and working around the world right now and you're in Airbnbs a lot and you're like, God, these aren't my vibe, top fucking hack. Go around, gather all the offensive things. I would take artwork off the walls. I'd be like, fuck this. This is ugly. I would find a cupboard, I would shove it in the cupboard, and I'm sure the host at the end of the stay was like, why the fuck are they redecorating my house? But needs must, okay? Just remove all the offensive stuff, put it in a cupboard. Um, and I also used to do little other things in the Airbnb as well, like little candles, like just little touches, flowers, things that would make it feel more like home, even if it wasn't a space that done the way that we'd love it to be. And then we moved to Miami. And when we moved to Miami, I thought we were going to be in Miami for a long time, as you'll know. And what was really interesting was like we bought all our furniture for that flat, but it was the post-COVID period. And furniture took fucking ages to come. So, like, our flat was close to fully furnished at the point we were moving out, which is so frustrating. Um, but it was pretty much fully furnished at the point we were moving out. And then we moved here. And I don't know if I ever shared this before. Sometimes I'm like, I don't think Instagram needs to be like your dear diary of all the shit that's going wrong in your life. Just a personal opinion. Fair play if you like to do that. And I'm not sure I actually shared this at the time, but basically we had a shit show with our move. And our movers like completely misquoted us. They charged us 3 times as much. They arrived on our doorstep in Austin. Our stuff was already late. And I am 7 or 8 months pregnant at this point. And I am stood on the side of the road, and this man is demanding $3,000 in cash from me. Otherwise, he's not giving me my stuff. And you guys, I am not holding it together. I am raging, raging at this man. So I'm like having this full-blown argument with this man on a brand new street. I mean, thank God our neighbors love us because, like, what the fuck? With this man who's screaming at a pregnant lady. What the fuck? Anyway, he's holding our stuff ransom. Go to the bank, I get the cash, they move the stuff in. You guys, it's all fucking broken. Like, all broken. Our dining table was completely crushed. Our TV was ruined. Like, our mirrors were smashed. Our art was smashed. Our lampshades were broken. Like, so much was broken. Like, barely anything remained. Our couch remained. It had a massive stain on it, but we managed to get that out. And our bed, I guess our bed was there. But yeah, I had to basically do this like mad dash of ordering things to replace things like our fucking dining table when this happened. And I remember at the time, Jake was like, "Don't worry, babe, it's fine." And I, I kind of just turned to him with this possessed face. And I was like, I am fucking 8 months pregnant. I am about to have a baby and I don't have a dining table. I was like, this is not okay. Um, so needless to say, I ordered a little more furniture then. So we're pretty good on the furniture front. Like I feel like I love the pieces that we've got and I'm so excited to get them into the house. But little things like the light fittings and like the bathroom tiles, just things that you're not going to change in a rental. We've added touches like extra blinds and curtains and we've painted, but I just can't wait to make this place my own. I can't wait to put my stamp on it. I actually fucking love interior design. I love design. I really love curating beautiful things. I like my space to be beautiful. It's such a key part of my human design as well. So I'm just really fucking buzzing and a little bit stressed. Like, I'll be honest, like it's hard to pick things. Like, does anyone else get this? Like, I get really like sometimes I just wish I was a bit more chill about decisions I make, but I'm so into things being like the like I basically want every object I have around me to I want to be in love with it, like fully in love with it. And that sets the bar pretty high. And so I found myself with a lot of decision fatigue recently. Um, just for constant decisions. It's like, okay, you pick blinds. What type of blinds? Do you want runners? Do you want a frame? What color frame? What color blind? What kind of opacity? You know what I mean? Like, how much can you see through it? Um, so I do feel like there's been slight decision fatigue. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but we're about to move in. I'm excited. The floors are going down as we speak. The wallpaper's going in for Leo's room. I went for the same wallpaper you might have seen on my Instagram before. I'll share some little things on my stories this week as things go in. So I've gone for the same wallpaper design. And then his playroom, I have broken the boring beige mum rule. I know, guys. I never expected it either. I never expected it either. But I have broken the beige rule and we have gone for fully colored safari wallpaper. Tasteful, of course, but full color. So I ordered all the wallpaper from Monks and May, and I was like blown away by the quality. It's what we have here, and I was like, I need to put this up again. The quality is insane, and it just like elevates the room, but keeps it fun. Because I am not the cool mum that allows all the like bright colors. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna get there, and if I'm being honest, there's a lot of color going on already, but like it's just it's just kind of a lot, you know? It's just a lot. So trying to keep it classy and be fun at the same time. I'm working on it, you guys. I'm a work in progress. But that's the house date up in Austin. That's why we're really busy right now as well. But on top of that, we're doing a reno project in Austin. That's super exciting. We've been doing that since before Christmas, I think now. Um, and we're making progress. That's hopefully going to be done by the end of this month. Like, guys, when I start to name everything that's going to be done by the end of this month, you'll see why I'm busy and I'm just like having to fucking own it. But that's going to hopefully be done by the end of this month. We are also starting the process of our house build in Mexico, which is so pinch me. I can't fucking believe this is my life. It's insane. And this is such a manifestation story in itself. So let me wind this back with the Mexico land. And I'm also going to explain like what our plan is in terms of where we're living, because this is a question people often then give me. They're like, hang on a minute, are you living in Mexico? Are you living in the US? Like, I'll explain all. Okay, so basically, we were living in Costa Rica and we knew this was temporary. We were living with my friend Mel, and we were out there during COVID. We were only meant to go out for 3 months. UK went into lockdown. We were like, there's no point in going back home. So we stayed for another 3 months. But we knew Costa Rica like wasn't our place. It's definitely my friend Mel's place, but like for us, it like I feel like everyone has their own resonance with places. I've spoken about this before, and like if you haven't already, check out your astrocartography because like that just helps so much. But I just didn't feel like it was our place, but we didn't know where our place was, and it was actually quite a hard place to be. Something I've discovered over the last couple of years, it's been an incredibly expansive couple of years, like moving countries and exploring all these different places. And what I've also discovered at the same time is like, I really struggle. And I think as humans, we struggle with uncertainty quite a lot. So being in this place of limbo of like not knowing where we were going to land was kind of weighing on us a little bit. Not weighing on us, but it was just like a topic of conversation a lot, shall we say. So we started to do this manifestation process, and I highly recommend this to you if you're like not sure where you want to live right now and you're trying to call in discovering where that perfect place is for you. So what we did is we would go through the perfect qualities of where we wanted to live, a little bit like what you would do with calling in your perfect partner. So we would say, things like we love the spiritual element in Bali and how you can just feel the spirit of the land. We love the food in Greece and the hospitality of the people. We love the weather of Mexico and that gorgeous sunshine year round. We love the beaches of Fiji, like, just like on and on and on, just like naming all these different qualities. And it really helped us get clear on what it was we were looking for from a place. And as we were going through this process, there were the place that kept coming to me was Bali. Like, I love Bali. God, that place is just so magical. A big vision for me was to spend 3 months in Bali. And that's actually one of the few visions that I cast back in the day, so to speak, like when I was really starting to tap into manifestation that didn't actually come to fruition, but I think for a reason, um, which I'll explain. And anyway, so Bali was like this place I kept coming back to. But Bali's so far away. And I've lived in Australia previously. I lived in Australia for 18 months when I was 22. And even though I'm so fine living away from home, I really struggled with the time difference in Australia. Like it just was like night and day from the UK. It made it really hard to talk to family, really hard to talk to friends. And also at this point of the consideration, a lot of my clients were UK based as well. So I knew my work hours were going to be really unpleasant, and sleep and rest, again, are really important things to me. So I just didn't feel like it was going to work for my work-life balance and staying really close to my family, even though we're living abroad. So I was like, there's something around that kind of like Bali-esque energy. Anyway, we keep trying to work out what this place is. And eventually, going through this process, it just kind of landed for us. What if it's Tulum? Like, we have spent so long in Tulum. We love Tulum. Every time we go to Tulum, we're so relaxed and dropped in, but also so expanded. It's like this incredible energy, and things just manifest for us at warp speed. Like, I love Vita, my like right hand woman. Like, whenever I'm in Tulum, she's like, "What have you fucking manifested now?" And like, things just like blow up in our business. Like, I was there last week. We had like a 20K week completely randomly. Like, just all these like things happen when we're in that Tulum energy. So we're like, what if it's Tulum? So when we're going to go spend some time in Miami, we decide to take a 2 week trip to Tulum beforehand. I'm already secretly planting those seeds, I'm not gonna lie. And we get to Tulum and I'm like, why don't we just why don't we just talk to a estate agent? You know? I don't know if they're even called an estate agent. Like, you know what I mean? Like someone who sells property and land. I was like, why don't we just have a couple of conversations? And we started to have these conversations, and these conversations were really, really interesting. And we found a guy that we loved. We were speaking to him, and he was like, look, these are the developments that are happening. And another woman had pitched us one, but it felt like too far out, and it was kind of like in the jungle, and it just felt a bit weird. And we are like, no, this isn't right. And we found this guy that we love. He showed us the developments that he had. And there was this development he showed us. The developments around it had like sold out already. This one was later to the market, so there was still a few available, but so many had sold out. And he was like, this is probably the one you want to do. So we look at this development and the plans, and you guys, it could not have been more perfect. So it's like right close to the green school, and the green school was another element of why I was considering us moving to Bali, because I really wanted my future children. I didn't have any kids at this point. We weren't even planning when we would get pregnant at this point, but I just knew I wanted my future children to go to a school like the green school. So it was going to be right next to the green school. It was like in between the beach and the town. And it just felt, though, it just felt so right. It felt so good. And we knew as well, like when we bought this land, like if worst came to worst, we could buy it off plan and we could sell the land if we changed our mind. Um, but we looked at the different plot sizes, and I'm laughing because we went from potentially buying one small plot of land in Tulum to buying three. And Jake thanks me so often that we bought those three, because it's just meant that we've got this like space to play with, and we can keep it really kind of like wild and lots of trees, and keep it feeling quite jungly, really. That's one of the things I love about Tulum. Like even though there's buildings, it feels jungly. Um, so that was it. We bought three plots of land in Mexico so randomly on a 2-week holiday, and we were thrilled. We were super excited. But this was probably, oh my God, nearly 3 years ago. And we knew it wouldn't be ready for ages. And we were happy with that decision. We knew we weren't in a rush to build. We knew we weren't in a rush to move there. We just knew it was part of our like grand plan. Fast forward, we go to Miami, we fall in love with Miami, and we're like, we need to move to the US. So in the meantime, we moved to the US. Obviously, I ended up having Leo. We're so happy in the US. Like, it really is such a great place to be for us. I love how positive people are. I love how expansive people are. I adore my friends. I adore the village that we've created that I spoke about on the episode with Mel and Natalie. And I definitely want to be here for the next couple of years. So, this is the plan. We are going to be staying in Austin for the next couple of years. After that, we might move within the US. We've got a couple of ideas of where that might be. But in the meantime, we're going to build this incredible property in Tulum, and it's going to be a space that we can go to and go for extended trips. We can take the dogs. It's going to be a place that we can host retreats. Jake's hosting his first men's retreat this year. I obviously fucking adore hosting retreats. I've got Mallorca in May, and we've got Tulum that we've just launched in November as well. So eventually I'm going to host the retreats in that space. And honestly, guys, it's just a fucking vibe. Like it is a fucking vibe. It is such an expander. Like when I look at the plans the architects send through, my mind is just fucking blown. And the process is so fun. It's so creative. Like really getting into the nitty gritty at this point. We've kind of got like an outer design, which just blows my fucking mind. But then we're like getting into the bathrooms and the closets, and I love this shit. Maybe I'm boring, I don't know, but I love this shit. And I'm really excited. I just feel like there's so many signs that this is meant to be. Like Tulum really is such a soul home for us. And just little things like I was on retreat on Natalie's Boss Babe retreat last year in Tulum, and she was like, let's do vision boards. So we're doing our vision boards, and I stuck like photos of this house I found in Architects Digest, and I was like, this is definitely like the kind of vibe. And then I looked at the small print, and it was our designers. Like the designers were already working with on the house. So just so many signs that this is meant to be, and such a manifestation. Oh my God, like beyond the manifestation. And I truly believe the reason we didn't actually end up going to Bali for 3 months is that we were meant to end up in Tulum. Like so much stuff I had on my vision board from then actually coincides with Tulum. And it's just such a reminder as well that sometimes the vision comes in a way that works even better for you. Like, I'm so grateful that we are so in love with Mexico. It's so close to the US. It's a super short flight, so it's so easy for us to live across two countries. The time zone is great for us. We're on the same time zone we're on now. It just works, you guys. It just works. So super excited about that. But on top of all this, I am a little bit sleep deprived. So Leo got sick a couple of weeks ago, which, as I've now learned, literally throws everything out the window. Everything, especially when it comes to sleep. But I actually have a bit of an embarrassing story to tell you around this. So I was having my friend this on a walk. She was like, Alex, this has to be on the fucking podcast. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm going to share it. Oh my God, so embarrassed. So basically, Leo starts to get sick and he was just like a bit off his food. That boy is never off his food. He was off his food and he started to get a little bit feverish. And pretty quickly, this fever climbed to 104. Don't ask me to translate. I am so over trying to translate. I don't even know if it's Fahrenheit or no, that's Fahrenheit. I don't know what it is in Celsius. He is running a high fever anyway. So because it's high, they're like, you need to take them in to be seen. So we take him into like the emergency room, like the urgent care here. And oh God, I am so mortified. I think I have diagnosed why my son is ill. So, in the journey from our house to the hospital, I am Googling raw milk illnesses. And I have convinced myself that I have poisoned my child with raw milk. So, I'm reading all these articles online, and they're like, do not feed children raw milk. Raw milk is the devil. Raw milk is going to kill you. And I'm confused because everyone else, all the crunchy mums are telling me raw milk is the tits. Like raw milk, it has all these enzymes, it has all these things that are great for you, like higher levels of vitamins, it's easier to digest. Like we've all seen the comparison table on fucking Instagram, let's be honest. So I think raw milk is the bee's knees. And I'm aware it comes with a warning, but I took the warning with a pinch of salt. I thought the warning was fine until my son gets ill. And then I convinced myself I am the worst mother known to man and I have poisoned my own child with raw milk. So we get to the urgent care and I'm now freaking out as well because I'm spiraling. It's late at night. I'm sleep deprived. And I'm like, they're going to take my child off me because I'm feeding my child raw milk. So, so we get checked in. They take his temperature. They're like, oh yeah, that boy is hot. And we go through to like the little area and I think because we had a baby with us and the baby had a fever, like they saw us super quickly, which I'm super grateful for because any mom knows when your child is ill and especially when they can't talk and tell you what's wrong, like that shit is hard. Like you're freaking out, you don't know what's going on. You just really appreciate peace of mind as soon as possible and trying to give the baby obviously as much comfort as soon as possible. So they see us super quickly and I am like, I need to tell you something. And the doctor's so friendly and she's like, okay. And I'm like, so I gave him raw milk. I'm like, I gave him raw milk and I'm worried I poisoned him. She's like, okay. And you can tell. I knew instantly that it was okay because you can tell she's trying her hardest not to laugh. She's like, I think the raw milk is okay. Honestly, the relief I felt, it was like an exhale in my entire body. And you could just tell she was just finding this fucking hilarious that I was convinced I had poisoned him through the raw fucking milk. But anyway, it turns out it wasn't the raw milk. They didn't actually know what it was at the time. They said it was just viral. We had to take him in not long after because it was climbing again, and he had hand, foot, and mouth, which I was confused about when I heard about because I remember foot and mouth disease from the UK where they made us like the US people are baffled by this, right? In the UK, we went through a period of time, I remember when I was a child, where like if you got on a plane, you had to walk through like a cleaning station. Like they would make you disinfect your shoes because we had this outbreak of foot and mouth, which was like a farming thing. I actually think it was really tragic and terrible that I felt like loads of animals got killed because of it. But it was this whole like farming thing that emerged. So I was very confused to find out that toddlers can have hand, foot, and mouth. Turns out I had hand, foot, and mouth. We got it from our neighbors, which cracked me up because she was like freaking out. And I was like, you cannot stress about this shit. Like, all kids' parties are super spreader parties. Like, it is like a germ pit and you don't even realize it. Like, no one even knew the kids were ill at that party. We were there for like 10 minutes. And I think this is just our future now, you know, like germs, diseases that I thought belonged to farm animals emerging, and me freaking out on doctors because I've done something fucking crunchy, mummy. And then I'm freaking out because my silky side's coming through. And I'm like, oh my God, it was the raw milk. So anyway, that has also contributed to a little bit of tiredness, but we're back on a good run. Leo is now 1. We had his birthday party, which was fucking amazing and really, really beautiful. And I actually surprised myself. Like, it was emotional, but also not emotional. Like, it was really beautiful to just celebrate him and celebrate getting through this year. I definitely felt like it was a celebration for me and Jake as well. It was like, oh my God, we kept a child alive for a year. Like, fucking go us. And we kept ourselves alive in that time too. Um, and I think it did bring up a lot for me just around like how much we've been through. The more time is getting on, the more I think I'm able to access just how much we went through together. And we had a rough ride of it. And we are here, we're here a year later. We celebrated. And it was just such a beautiful day. We had both sets of families over, Jake's family, my family. And then I haven't shared this yet. This is the first time I'm sharing this, but I have weaned from breastfeeding. So couple of weeks past 1. I actually did my last feed last Sunday and a Saturday in a really beautiful way, which I'll tell you about. I did my last breastfeed. So we did a year of breastfeeding together, which is just beyond, like, I am so proud of us. And by the way, if you don't breastfeed, you're fucking cool too. Like, we have to stop with all this shit, you know? But like, it was a journey for us and we did it. And I'm so grateful we got to do it. It was one of the most hard and beautiful things I've ever done. Um, I loved our snuggles. I loved our little night feeds in the night. I adored feeding him. And it was also really hard. I couldn't pump. I've shared this on Instagram previously, but I haven't really talked about it fully, but I couldn't pump. And that meant I couldn't actually be away from Leo this year for longer than a couple of hours because my boobs would literally just get so painful. Um, and yeah, I mean, obviously we could give him formula, so that part was fine, but like I couldn't cope with my boobs. Um, so yeah, it's been a big journey. I'm really grateful that we did it. I'm really grateful that we went on that journey. But I think the thing that I really wanted to share here as well was like, I didn't feel sad when it ended. And I think that was really beautiful. I've been really worried in motherhood that I'm going to feel sad about things all the time. And as someone who's had depression and anxiety in the past, that like weighs on me a little bit. I'm like, oh God, is this going to feel sad? Is this going to feel sad? And it was just really nice that it didn't feel sad. It felt like beautiful. It felt like it was time for that journey to end. We'd been slowly weaning already. So I'm going to share how we did this because I found it really hard to find information on this. Obviously, I'm not a fucking doctor, but this is just what we did. We first weaned the night feeds actually a couple of months ago when we were doing sleep training, and that was easier than expected. I basically just set alarms and got him up to feed rather than him waking and like feeding on demand. And we just weaned that over. I think it was like 5 days. It was surprisingly quick because that boy eats, and I was really worried he wouldn't make it through the night, but that process was really easy. And then I was cutting down feeds till I was on like pretty much 1 per month until I was on 3 feeds a day. And I stuck at 3 feeds a day for a little while. And then I just started to reduce the lunchtime feed, then I reduced the morning feed, and then got rid of the nighttime feed. And the way that I saw my breastfeeding journey out was I actually did a little photo shoot with my friend Bri. It was so beautiful. She is a fucking angel. She's also the most talented photographer in the fucking world. So like if you ever are doing personal branding photography and things like this, like she was on my vision board before I like got to work with her, and she continues to be. She's fucking amazing. But we did a little shoot together in the park. She brought her little boy with her as well, which was really, really beautiful. And she even let me get behind the camera. Now, just to caveat this, I have no talent behind the camera. She very much put all the settings, directed the whole shot, but I press click, you guys. I press click, and it was just so beautiful. And those photos are forever going to be such a special memory. And then I thought that would be like final, but I actually got home and just did a little bedtime feed, and um I had a little cry, and I just said to Leo, like, thank you so much for, oh my God, I'm gonna get emotional again. But it's like the nice emotion, it's not like sad emotion, but I just said thank you so much for like doing this with me and being patient with me whilst I work this out, and going on this journey with me. And thank you for all these snuggles and little feeds we've had together. And Jake came in and he was like emotional too. And it was just really, really beautiful. And it felt like good emotion. It felt like this has been a beautiful journey we've had. And this is the closing of that chapter and the next chapter in this journey. So I'm feeling good about that. And I'll be honest, you guys, I'm really excited to have my body back. And what I mean by that is my body being mine, my boobs being mine, my body being mine. My pregnancy was so gnarly that that plus like postpartum, the paralysis, breastfeeding, it's just felt like my body's C-section. My body's just been through a lot, and I'm just really excited for my body to feel like mine again. And you guys, I know this is a basic bitch of me, but I'm gonna be honest, I can't wait to be able to just use all the skincare without anyone telling me what I can and can't fucking use. I've actually got I'm going to this event in Dallas this Saturday. We're in Dallas anyway for Pronuvo, which is like a full body MRI. I can share a little bit more about that. If you guys are into that shit, I love all this biohacking shit. Let me know if you want more of that. But we're going for a Pronuva anyway, and there's this amazing esthetician called Savannah, called I think she's like the Dallas esthetician on Instagram. She's like having this open house event. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be like, give me all the fucking products you got. I've had 2 years of melasma. This skin is gonna be clear as shit. I'm like, give me the lasers, give me the Morpheus on my I'm just like so ready, you guys. I'm gonna get some tattoos removed. I'm gonna get some tattoos put on. I'm gonna get some piercings. I'm gonna get some fucking Botox. I'm like girl gone wild. But yeah, it's not why I gave up breastfeeding, but I'm very excited for the side benefit of that. Um, what else is going on right now? I think the last thing I'm just going to share about is last night we did a ceremony with Sarah Jenks, and Sarah's going to be on the podcast next week, guys. Fucking epic 2 episodes. I'm so excited for you to hear those. But we went to ceremony with an oh my God. I think that is the most powerful ceremony I have ever done. I've done the plant medicine, all the rest of it. It was just so sacred and so feminine, and it felt so holy, and just so many beautiful, deep healings and openings occurred. I feel forever changed from that ceremony. Now, I say that I'm a day later. Like the key is going to be remaining change. And she actually said something about that at the end. I can't remember how she phrased it. Um, she's such a channel, honestly. It's just incredible. But it was something around like allow yourself to be changed. And that was the thing that came up for me in the ceremony itself, was just like allowing yourself to change and allowing yourself to surrender things. A lot of the ceremony itself was about surrender and giving it to the goddess. And one of the things I had to surrender was my sadness. And it sounds like that's a really easy thing to surrender, but there was this pattern I noticed where I will like put other things first into the forefront and not put myself at the first and the forefront, or I feel guilty for doing it. And I realized that I get to let go of those patterns. I get to rewrite those patterns, and that actually nourishing myself. And I feel like this is the whole journey I've been on throughout upgrade season, but like nourishing myself is at the forefront of everything, because when I'm doing that, everything else thrives. And it sounds basic, but how fucking hard is it to do that, guys? Sometimes, like, there's so much going on in life. Like, I just think it's tricky. It can be really tricky. But that is my renewed focus. That was definitely a focus for this year. That's given me a real, sometimes I think we just need to like sharpen our focus again, like tighten the lens and be like, this is what I'm focusing on. This is the way I'm living my life. And that's going to be my focus. It's really going to be around really nourishing myself at the forefront. And she actually whispered something to me at the end, which was probably one of the most powerful messages I've ever received. And human design, finding out as a projector, really shifted the way I saw myself. I recognized that rest was productive, it was something that I needed, and it helped me understand why I was so great at achieving and creating, but I also needed big periods of rest and also I want to say recluse, but that's not the word, like going inward basically. And we're having an anointing done at the end. If you don't know what anointing is, hold on till Monday. We like fully go into what all these things are. We go into ceremony. She's a priestess. We go into everything about that. Um, but she does this anointing and she whispers to me, she says, I see your power. You are so powerful. That's why you need this nurturing. And it was this like light bulb breakthrough moment that me needing nourishment and nurturing and extra rest isn't a weakness. It is linked to my power. That breakthrough will forever change my life. The way that I see myself, the way that I live my life, the way I go about things. I am so grateful. I also got to sit in ceremony with two of my best friends and two other incredible women who I'm increasingly becoming more close to. And that was just such a beautiful experience as well. To sit in ceremony with other women is so deeply healing, to allow yourself to be fully seen, to soften. Wow, you guys, just incredible. And if you're listening to this and thinking like, oh my God, there's just part of my body that's craving that, like do it. Like get your sisters, gather your friends, come into ceremony together on the new moon, the full moon. I don't know, a random fucking Thursday. Like you can make ceremony, you can bring ritual into your life. And that's something that we're all committing to a lot more. Like coming together as women in that ritual, in that ceremony. It is so deeply healing and deeply transformative. And I'm excited to bring more of that into my life. I'm excited to do more with Sarah as well. I'm like her number one fucking fangirl now. I want to do all the things she's doing. I'm definitely going to do doing more with her this year. So yeah, that was freaking amazing. Okay, so to wrap this up, I'm just going to do a super quick section on things that I have been buying. This feels so rebellious. I feel like you're not meant to encourage people to buy shit. Like, um, but I like buying shit. No, let me rephrase that. I like consciously buying things that upgrade my life. I don't like buying random shit. That is a hard and fast rule. Like I am not the person buying souvenirs on holiday, okay? I am not the person buying bric-a-brac. I'm not the person like I've quit my random Amazon purchases, as you know. I really don't like clutter either, so I actually don't like I'm gonna stop over fucking explaining. I'm just gonna get into it. You get me. You hear me, you feel me. This is the shit that I've been buying. So I recently bought Slow Productivity, the book by Cal Newport. Oh my God. Such an incredible book. Go buy that book right now. Like it is such a game changer when it comes to how we frame productivity and how the way that we measure productivity often doesn't work when we're in a creative process. Having blank space, free time can be really game changing. And a key part of that process is not all about what you have done. So Slow Productivity by Cal Newport, fucking love it. I also bought the Cosmetics Pure Enzyme Cranberry Exfoliating Mask. I got this off Amazon, but I actually had it. They put it on my face at a facial I had. I had a facial at Milk and Honey. Such a vibe in Austin. If you're ever in Austin and you need a beautiful spa to go to, Milk and Honey is total fucking vibe. Go to actually the Lauren and ask for Hope and ask for an orthopedic massage. It's incredible. She like resets your whole body, your whole like posture. Mind blown. But I had a facial there the other week and they used this on my face and it felt so good because I'm gonna be honest, you guys, my skin is not great right now. I went on a really big journey during pregnancy, because I was limited in what I could use really, and because I had really bad pregnancy acne, finding a regime that worked really well for my skin. And I think what's happened is with weaning breastfeeding, my hormones are changing again. I've also had like, I think it's like 4 periods in 6 weeks or something. It's that shit's gnarly. Like my hormones are just clearly rebalanced. I only got my cycle back like 6 weeks ago. So I think hormones are moving around a lot, is what I'm saying, and it's impacting my skin a lot. So it just had that like really like congested feeling, it almost feels like gritty. This mask just like helped it feel so clear and clean and really refreshed again. So I'm a big fan of that, and I love things with enzymes, and it just feels really like ooh, like love that feeling. Um, and then I've been buying house shit. So, wallpaper. Like I said, we've ordered some wallpaper from Monks and Me. We've ordered some light fittings. I've got this like cool bubble light that we're gonna put across the dining table. And then the last thing that I actually bought recently that I've fallen in love with was an all-in-one lycra jumpsuit. Is it lycra? I don't know. But you know, like legging material, kind of flared jumpsuit. Next time I'm wearing it, I'll put it on Instagram and I'll drop a little link. But it's the all-in-one hit the scene beyond yoga, like a jumpsuit thing. You guys, I am obsessed. It's like this beautiful fabric that's like thick enough to like provide a bit of shape, but not make you sweaty. And it is the comfiest thing ever. And it's so easy to dress in different ways. Like you can wear it to the gym and actually go do Pilates in it. Or you can I've been wearing it with like Uggs and a little jumper and it's great for a dog walk or like nipping to the shops. You can kind of like dress it up, put a blazer with it. It is so comfy, like feels so good. So that is what I'm living right now. Um, and yeah, let me know if you like this section. Like, let me know what you want because like I said, I am loving all the feedback on the podcast, bar the one-star reviews. And I just really want to keep bringing you ladies what feels exciting, what feels fresh. Um, but as I wrap this up, I just have two quick things to share with you. The first is we are bringing a brand new newsletter out. It is called The Upgrade, and it is the weekly upgrade straight to your inbox. I'm going to be sharing with you what's hot, what's not, and giving you a really simple way that you can upgrade your week. So it's all about small shifts, huge changes. And if you want that direct to your inbox, I'm going to drop a link in the show notes to make sure you're signed up. And then the second thing is just a brief little memo. We have dropped a brand new retreat. It is an upgrade season retreat. It is going to be in Tulum this November. It is in my favorite place in the world to host retreats, Casa Maya Khan. It is going to be fucking incredible. We've had this private villa in the biosphere of Tulum. We go deep. That place is a vortex. So I'm super, super excited. It's on early bird. There's $1,000 off. If you're interested, drop me a DM on Instagram. Just pop me the word Tulum and I will get all the details across. But with that, I will leave you for the wind down. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. I'm so excited for Monday's episode as well. Sarah is, oh my God, so magical. I will see you then.